that in Prof's conversation or his presentation, he made mention of the point that we always identify the opportunity and we bring in people from outside our continent to take advantage of it. How many of you here have heard about the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement? How many of you believe it's a big opportunity for young people like us? You realize the hands are few. These conversations go on at the national level, and it's presidents and ministers who have the conversations. But the opportunity is for us. They are opening up the African markets for us to take advantage of. But we only think the likes of big corporations that have the funds and resources to expand to other markets are the only ones who can take advantage of this. But when you read deep down into the policies and you realize how much tax reliefs and exceptions they are giving for businesses who are willing to take advantage of this opportunity in the next 5 to 10 years, you should start jumping now to take advantage of it. So if you're into e-commerce business and the likes, you're not limited to boundaries. Neither are you limited to a lot of these policies. That's why you can stay in Ghana and shop on Amazon. That's why you can stay in Ghana and shop on eBay, and they are not really affected by your policies within your country. And so taking advantage of technology, as this forum here is talking about how to leverage the internet to drive for digital jobs and youth inclusion, is very, very key. And so you should be curious to want to know more about these things. Today, my talk is going to be based on how you transpose your career in the fourth industrial revolution. You've heard a lot of buzzwords around what the fourth industrial revolution is and the likes. I'm going to play this short video, after which I would come and then we'll delve more into the conversation.
Technologies to make our lives easier. These inventions made us more efficient and we didn't have to spend as much effort working to survive. But each new development came at a cost. When bronze tools were invented, all the guys who made stone tools were driven out of work. And when iron tools came along, all of the bronze workers lost their jobs. When the Industrial Revolution hit, it wiped out the livelihoods of millions of cobblers and weavers who had to adapt or get left behind. And this process continues today. Only now it's happening faster, much, much faster. All kinds of routine jobs have become automated in the past few years, thanks to breakthroughs in technologies like robotics and radio frequency identification, computing, and high-speed networking. And at the same time, another powerful force, globalization, is making it easier for companies to move jobs overseas where wages are lower and regulations are less stringent.
Now, this video is an excerpt from a documentary by CNN, and it's about the future of jobs. You realize that from every revolution, people lost jobs. And so the conversation we are having now, the scare we are going through has happened before. But those who made themselves relevant stayed in. When the bank teller lost her job because the ATM machine was invented, a new department in the bank was formed, called the Cards and Payments Department. If the bank teller repurposed herself for this new innovation that was coming, would she have lost her job? The toll booth guy lost his job to the automated toll system because he didn't repurpose himself to become somebody who can engineer or service the toll booth machine. Because he understands the principle behind the business of running the toll system or managing parking lots, he will be relevant to any company that goes into buying these toll systems, helping them monetize the toll devices. That's the same way the travel agent lost her job because online booking systems were invented. I could now book a flight from my home without going to form a queue in a travel agency to get a ticket. And it's the same thing that is happening now. So the conversation around people losing their jobs now because of technology is not something that is new. And if you don't realize that now and you're in school about to graduate or just graduated and you didn't realize this, you have to quickly pivot and start finding a new career path if you think what you did in school will become redundant in the next 2 to 3 years. Now, it started with a story about the evolution of humans. And then, before human beings in the BCs and ACs, human beings were known to be hunters and gatherers. And they used stones, they carved stones. So there were people who were specialized in finding stones and carving them into hunting tools for them to gather whatever they wanted to eat. So they used this to fight their enemies, they used this to kill animals, and they used this to farm. Then came metals. Then they discovered metals. So their weapons changed. We were now building swords, building rigs, and you realize that the tools evolved from what it looked like in the stone to what it is during the metal age. Then came machine. People used to sit down and use their hands to sew clothes with needles. When the machine was invented, all the people who were very good at using needles to sew couldn't meet the efficiency of the machine. So if you don't learn how to operationalize this machine, you lose your job. Today, this is where we are. Microprocessors, Internet of Things. We are hearing a lot of things, new devices are coming in. Before a 250 megabyte system can occupy this whole room. Now you can carry as high as 100 terabytes and it won't even occupy 0.0001% fraction of this room. And that's how fast things are changing. And so if you don't adjust very fast, you'll be left behind. Now who is the new person or who is going to be the new person? We've heard about the buzzword, the fourth industrial revolution, and what it is. A combination of so many things. Machines and our biological spheres are all combining, even to the spiritual realms are all combining together to make what life is. You get it? Churches are what? They are pivoting now. You can pay your tithes from anywhere in the world. You can put a standing order on your account and make payments. So technology is innovating every part of the world. You now join your church service from anywhere, so the pastor is not afraid of losing his church members when you travel abroad. Because you could now, I feel we are having fundraising. Over wire money now to account. Sorry, those who can't speak English. What I'm trying to say is the pastor, those who can speak Chi, the pastor is trying to convince the church member who has traveled abroad and may not be physically present in the church that he can make his contributions to the fundraising that is coming up through it's a mobile wire or mobile money or bank wire or whatever it is. And so technology is taking over every part of our lives, every single part of our lives. But Africa has a significant opportunity when it comes to the rest of the world. It's estimated that by 2050, Africa's population is going to be twice the rest of the world. But then again, the highest ratio of that population are going to be the working class. Between the ages of 16 to 24, that means Africa's population is going to be the youngest. So we have the numbers, and now we have the people who are strong enough to consume whatever it is. That means if you are able to create our own, we have the same market that is creating, feeding off from whatever we produce. So instead of bringing our way into Africa to contain our market, why not back somebody like an RLG to produce for the market? We create the jobs, we create the factories, we create the business, we employ our own people, and then we keep the resources within our own economy. But if we leave it to them, we will have the numbers all right, They'll bring in everything we need, and they'll say, do you realize how much resources are coming into Africa now? Because of this projection, every continent is looking at Africa. The big giants are fighting over Africa. This recent internet war that happened, who was suffering? We were the ones suffering because what? We are the highest consumers of their services and products. And we know this. It's a funny thing, we all know this. I'd rather buy a Huawei than buy a phone that this guy produced in his IoT lab. But the reality is, if we all decide to support him and we give him more jobs, as in more projects to work on, he becomes more experienced. And the more experienced he becomes, his reputation continues to grow across the continent. But if we don't consume our own, we don't give them the opportunity to grow, and they won't be able to employ us. And so Africa is going to become the youngest and the largest population in the rest of the world. But the question is, are you ready to take advantage of this opportunity as an employee or as an employer or an entrepreneur? The time is now. So you can choose to wait for it to happen and bypass you, and you lose out like the guy who used to sit at the toe or the lady who used to sit at the bank counter. Or you join the journey and take advantage of it. There's the emergence of things like social communities leveraging technology. So now he's built over 100, it's connecting to over 100,000 of people who are into IoT, not physically, but through internet communities. The likes of Facebook and other technologies or platforms that have been merged out of that similar business model have created this for us. Businesses are stopping in that they are starting investing in billboards and putting all their resources to monetize where they see us spend most of our time. Very soon you see WhatsApp ads popping on the WhatsApp if they are not already popping in. WhatsApp banks are now integrating into WhatsApp because they now have to move where you spend your day. Everybody is evolving to fit our lifestyles, and it is because of what? Technology. There's also what? A culture that is emerging out of technology. It says, well, we are an IoT movement. We are driving a conversation. We are blockchain enthusiasts. We are IT enthusiasts. All these words driven by this. Sharing what? A culture is the way people live. And they have to come into consensus and believe in the same objective and a common goal. And so if we all believe that technology is the way, then technology is becoming our culture. Look at this interesting slide. So the World Economic Forum released reports on the future of work. And they've been doing that, I think, in the last 4 years. And in this slide over here, in 2015, people who had high complex problem-solving skills were prioritized over other people. These were the top 10 skills that were required in 2015. Now look at this. Coordinating with others and people management shifted, and then 2 new skills replaced those priorities. Complex problem solving still remains a very important skill. However, there are 2 new things that have become very important, which is critical thinking and creativity. Being prioritized over what? People management. So companies are creating innovation departments to get people who have these skills to innovate for them to become what's relevant in the future. So if you have to position yourself now, you make sure that you build these skills. 2 new skills have come onto the list and have kicked off some others, have kicked off the life of quality control. And that is cognitive flexibility. Cognitive flexibility is the ability to adapt to change within the organization. So let's say we are thinking about accounting right now. The next minute, we want to think about how technology can impact accounting. So you have to shift your mind to technology. If you're a programmer, you think about whatever language will be relevant to making accounting more easier for the accountant. And so you're thinking accounting and you're thinking technology at the same time. And those are the kind of people they want within organizations. people who are all round, and they can quickly adjust to suit the organization's prioritization at any point in time. And the same for what? Emotional intelligence. You can't be a leader in tomorrow's world if you can't manage people by their people's emotions. And you can maximize their expertise better if you are able to manage, get them to be emotionally stable. And so this has become a very critical tool for everybody who is looking for people to employ. These have become the top skills, the top jobs that are in demand. People who used to do data entry, especially in government institutions, where a lot of data is collected in silos and in copies, are losing their jobs because they are now employing enterprise resource platforms to integrate all parts of the department so that they all speak the same data, they all speak the same language, they all speak the same analytics. And so if you were a data entry clerk, what should you be learning now? You should be learning to become a data analyst. You see how you have to quickly pivot? You're not moving too far away from your comfort zone. You're just building up to what is now relevant within the same space you used to work. In my organization, I recommended IBM DNA program to 3 of our receptionists. I also recommended project management, agile development to one of the receptionists. As I speak to you now, 3 of them are on a job rotation with the data team in the bank. The lady who took the agile development program very serious is now working with the agile programs office, which used to be the project management office within the organization. People have come to replace them as receptionists. But how long will the receptionist be relevant? Because we'll start to build robots that will replace that. Immediately I exposed them, they took the course. It was very foundational. They got to understand the foundations and they started to build on it. Then they went to ask questions within that department, what they are doing, how can whatever they are learning be relevant to it. And they went to the HR, they were like, you have found a new interest. Can you help us move on to the new interest? If you don't want to shift our job totally, just put us on a job rotation. Let's go and learn what they are doing. If maybe we build a skill and you still don't need us, somebody else will need us. But you would have gained the experience with the same organization you are working with without having to go out and look for another job. So if you are an HR person here, you should also be innovating within your organization to repurpose your staff instead of looking at downsizing, which is one of the biggest arguments executives make in the boardroom that, hey, we are investing a lot in technology and so we have to downsize to meet.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
How many of you have acquired the experience he has here? How many of you have been TEDx speakers before? How many of you have YouTube channels where you teach other people to code? How many of you can even code one programming language? This guy is less than 13 years old and he has all that experience. Imagine when he's 20 years old and he's competing with you at the age of 30 for the same job. Who would you employ? So it's a riddle we have to find ourselves answering. You have to wake up every morning to ask yourself what I'm doing, how relevant will it be in the next 5 to 10 years? If the answer is no, start asking yourself, how can I make myself relevant immediately? Don't get too comfortable with the salaries they are paying you, because a list will come out very soon and they'll say, unfortunately, you are becoming a burden on us and you are not being productive in terms of where the organization is headed. So we are sorry, you have to go. You don't want to be in that position. You want to be in a position where you want. Now I end with this video. Sorry. Which is a point I love a lot. Thank you very much for your audience.
Stanbic, come.
I don't know. The only thing I'm good at is spelling.
Go over there and read the quotation that's on the wall. Read it aloud, please.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same.
Does that mean anything to you?
I don't know.
It's written in plain English. What does it mean?
I'm not supposed to be afraid.
Afraid of what?
Afraid of me.
So I urge you all to take advantage of who you are and believe in yourself, because you are the powerhouse of Africa. And wherever we go, it depends on the decisions each and every one of us make. Little drops of water make a mighty stream. Let's come together and do that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation. Our next session will be a panel discussion, another presentation, yes, and it will be done. They are working on it, but there's and so we'll just give him a few minutes to reorganize himself and give us another presentation. Don't forget, put your questions down, and they will be taking that soon as well. Okay, so we'll move on to our next presentation, which will be done on child online protection. And to do that, we would invite Dr. Nana Kofi Annan to give us a presentation. Okay, so.
Good morning, everyone. I believe all of us here, if not all, majority of us are tech guys. And we are interested in developing, coming up with systems, finding innovative ways of doing things, taking advantage of the various innovations available to us to make things happen. Within the space that we find ourselves, it is an ecosystem that in everything we are doing within this space, we need to take into consideration the various entities within this ecosystem and find ways to ensure that everybody is well catered for without being left to their own fate. I started here to talk about child online protection, which is one component of cyber security issues that the government is looking at. Now, if you look at this ecosystem that we find ourselves within the IT, different people enter into the IT space to do different things. And now, unlike before, in the 90s, where you hardly see maybe African children using some of these devices. Now you will bear with me that even a baby who is breastfeeding wants to pick your phone for water, and you'll be surprised that if you give the phone to them, I don't know, but try and notice it, they will press something that you yourself sometimes you ask yourself, how did they do it? Well, I don't know, but the moment you give them the device, they're able to go somewhere. Yes. And this is what is becoming, or what is triggering some fear when it comes to their safety in the use of these technologies. And as tech people, all the things we are developing, it is these young people who will help us to push it. It is not the adults. It is the children who are transitioning into adults who will then champion our cause for us. So if we do not ensure that they are protected within the cyberspace and they feel threatened, then policies will be coming in that will limit their use of the technology, which will be a disadvantage to us. And so we need to look at it critically. So what is yes. Okay, so what is child online protection and all these things within the cybersecurity space? You will see that now within the internet, your computer from your house is connected to another computer elsewhere, and is connected to another computer elsewhere. And so you find yourself in a community that you don't know the people within that community. And it's possible that people go to that place to do different kinds of things. And now children also find themselves in this space. And young adults all find themselves in this space. So the question is, what do they go there to do? And when they go there, are they safe? You have a system, let's say you have a software that encourages people to learn online and do all those kind of things. Have you factored in security measures that will ensure that when children go onto that platform, they will not be exposed to certain kind of content? Children go online, they are doing their homework, and accidentally pornographic content pops up. They did not go there looking for it, but the thing pops up and curiosity leads them and leads them and leads them and leads them. So I ask you, developers, and these are some of the things you need to take into consideration to enhance your system that you are developing, to gain market advantage. That you incorporate certain systems into it that you can say, my software, my application is child friendly, is child protection certified. Then we'll be getting organizations like UNICEF and other international organizations to come to your aid, because UNICEF is championing child online protection. So if you come out with a system, you say that this system is good for children, when they go there, they will not be exposed to unwanted content. And here AI comes in, another thing, to be able to determine and to know that these are the people currently online accessing my content, and this and all. So you need to incorporate a lot of things into your system to ensure that it becomes sharpened to protect them. So all this we are saying, so what is it? What is it about? It's because there are bad people amongst us. If they are not here, maybe they are elsewhere. But there's this thing that they say, when God calls his angels and he's advising them, the devil also. So as we are discussing, I believe that the hackers and those people too, they are also here listening to our strategy and everything, so that they will also reposition themselves. Are there hackers here? Okay, so we know that there are bad people there, and they will always want to do things to distract the good ones. Now, globally, children are exposed to certain kind of dangers online, and these are the statistics in the US. I would like to go to Ghana, to come to Ghana and talk about the statistics in Ghana as you find us. So can we go up? Yeah. Go up. Right. So that's the situation in Ghana. Let me just. So when we come to Ghana, there is a research that was done and has been published, and that is the situation as at 2017. And the report says that 7 out of 10 parents, children use the internet for learning. That is good. That is good. But let's move on. It's also said, do you know that 4 out of every 10 children, adolescents, accept friend requests made to them by people they have never met before? And this is very dangerous. There are a lot of things happening in our homes that most of us, we don't have any idea of. Sometimes when you leave and you go to work, the people, when they go to work, their children in the home bring visitors there that they don't even know. If you go to the mall, you see young ladies standing in front of the mall, and about 80% of them, all that they are standing there waiting or doing is trying to meet people they haven't seen face to face before. They only chatted with them on Facebook, and they are standing there saying, I'm wearing this dress. Where are you? I'm standing here. Where are you? And then some people come and talk about their privacy here and there. You yourself, you have exposed yourself to somebody you haven't seen before. Meanwhile, that same person, if you should meet the person face to face and even attempt to greet him or her, the person might not respond. But why on the internet, that one, you expose yourself so much to the person that I don't know whether when they go to the internet they become, I don't know. Yes. To the extent that if you're an adult, I'm not talking about adults, some of them I don't know what is wrong with them, but here I'm concentrating on the children. Because a child goes there and says that I'm in the house alone, my parent has gone to work, I'm just this, I'm just that, I'm just that. Then another person there, oh, so is that so? Can I visit? Oh, okay. Okay, I don't know your household. Oh, switch on your GPS. Then the person switch on your GPS. And before you realize, your child or your kid in the house has exposed your house to strangers that you have no idea. The next thing, if they are bad people, the next thing they strike. And so we need to take this serious as adults and as young people and as children. We all have our roles to play. We all have something that we need to know to be able to educate ourselves. For we, the adults, all of us here are tech people, but I'm speaking to the general public. Most of us don't know even how to use the devices we are holding, apart from using to receive call, apart from just clicking my email and those kind of things. So we are not even able to teach the children how to use it well. The 7 out of the 10 that are using for learning, that is good. But here we have 4 people who do not know the ethics on the internet, that I don't have to expose this information, I don't have to give it. So they go there, they are just doing that. Some people, they don't know. And so we need to teach them. Next. Is that 2 out of every 10 children have met someone in person, like I was saying. So out of the 4, 2 of them will definitely meet those people they haven't met before. They will continue to go and meet them face to face. And by so doing, some of them have landed themselves in trouble that because they do not come and report, we don't hear of it. Especially the young ladies. Some of them have gone into that and they have been abused, they have been raped, but they keep it to themselves. They don't say it, but it is happening. And so we need to, all of us here have to put our hand on the deck to ensure that we protect children from online abuses and other things. Let's keep the statistics there for all of us to see. So here in trying to educate them, we try to let them understand certain basic technologies. What is cybersecurity? They don't know. Some even with the adult, we don't know cybersecurity. We don't know chat, online safety, those things. So we need to understand so that we will also be able to transfer that knowledge to them. Then they will appreciate. Oh, so this is it, this is that, this is that, this is what I can do, this is what I should not do, and all that. So these basic technologies are very important for us to be able to let the children get to know and understand why we have to do A, B, or C, or should not do A, B, or C when they go online. And so when we say cybersecurity, it's all about practices that ensure that you protect your system, data, and yourself. You are protecting the physical machine, you are protecting the data, the content, and yourself. And some are holding their device, the device is not protected, so the data on it is out there, and you, the person, you are in their hands. And that is what some of them are doing. You are holding your device, you give it to anybody, enter my, this is my password, just enter it, go to this place, and pick this. And so you have to know how to handle it. You have to let them understand that they should not share their device with any person or divulge their password to somebody that enter my password. This thing, for us, it will sound strange to us. But you see the market women and say, oh, take one password with money. They don't see what is password, they just give it to anybody. And that's why the mobile people are just taking their money. They go to the place and say, oh, take it. This is my password. This is that. This is the giving out relevant information. So we need to let them understand some of these basic things. Even the parents do not understand how much more the children. So it is important that we educate them within that space. And online is the act of protecting yourself from cyber crime online as you go online. So online safety is to ensure that you protect yourself from some of these things. And we need to let the children know that this is what this means. And when I say don't do this or do that, it's not that I don't like you, but it's because I want your safety when you go online. So when we say child online safety, it's all about trying to ensure that this new crime that is being committed against children online, particularly, is looked at and we are able to fight against it. We have predators who go online to take advantage of vulnerable children and abuse them. When they expose their profile, there's a lot of us here, we have given so much information about ourselves online to the extent that somebody can go. I was looking for somebody's cell phone number, I wasn't getting, I just went online, went to Facebook, and the person's number was there. I just picked it up, called the person. The person, how did you get my number? I said, oh, I got it from some. I did not tell the person that. So some of us, we have exposed ourselves so much that people can easily trace us. Okay, so when you are doing your profile, we have to let them understand, the children, that don't give too much information about yourself. The minimum information that you need to get registered, just give those ones. But some want to fill everything, give their GPS, give their this, give their school this, I was in this current, even when they are going to eat, I'm eating here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. Excuse me to say, if you are doing that, I don't want to use that word here, but it's not. The tech people will know that this internet was created mostly for research, for learning. Then there is the other use. This aspect of it is not the core use of the internet. This social aspect, which has taken over the core use of the internet, wasn't the core use. The core use is for research, for learning, for sharing information. But unfortunately, the social aspect is looking at that as the core use. And so we have to develop systems, come out with things that will emphasize on the core use of the internet, bearing children in mind. I've talked about this already. I've talked about all that. Okay, so these are some few online threats to children. We have cyberbullying, and even adults are doing it. You go online and you use abusive words on other people on social media, and here forgetting that whatever you put there, you remains there forever. So you try to go, the politicians are doing to themselves, people are, but when this is done to children, it kills their emotional feelings. You go there and use certain words and try to bully the child, and then if you don't do this, this will happen to you. If you don't do that and that, and even people are grooming children online to do certain things. I know somebody, the parent thought that the child, he has given the child, not a child, they said 18 mobile devices, and therefore the daughter is not going out. Every time the daughter is indoors and she's happy. Oh, before my daughter wasn't having the device, she's been moving out and there. But when I got her the device, now every time she's indoors, Then she was saying this to a friend. A friend said that, was that so? Me, I'm not very small. So take your daughter's tablet and see what she's been doing on it that every time she's indoors. This woman gathered the courage and took it. The daughter, she was naive. She didn't know much. So she hasn't removed the history and all that because she just doesn't know anything. So the mother took the phone, and almost every evening, this daughter is in the US. She's in the US, chatting and having fun, and the romantic this thing that is how to do this. I can't mention how to do this, or do this, or do that. The mother nearly collapsed. The mother nearly collapsed. And so please, we must be interested in these things. And so when we are giving them the device, we, the parent, we must know the parental controls to be able to set. And so if you have an app that is on the system, your app will set some of these features that will prevent children to be exposed to certain areas. So how do you stay safe online? I've seen those the moderators telling me that it's time. When I was brought here, I told them that you can't bring me here and tell me to speak for 10 minutes. That is not possible. I cannot sit down, gather this in and listen. And when we are talking about, I see the hand. And anytime we are talking about children, we want to downplay it. They are the future, all the things you are developing. If they don't buy into it, all your software will be useless. And so we need to get them to understand the technology and appreciate it and feel free. They shouldn't feel threatened. I'll finish soon, but I needed to make this clear. So I have these 5 things. How do you stay safe online? How do you stay safe online? There are 5 things. It says be smart. SMART. So if you pick a child, if you want to stay online, that means do not accept friendship anyhow. There are some of us, we are fascinated by having a lot of Facebook friends. But with the programmer, you understand the algorithm that the friendship system uses. Like, show me your friend, I will show you your. And that's why some of you will see certain content, you ask yourself, how did I get this? Because there's somebody in that friendship line that is accessing those content, and the algorithm assumes that so far as this person is using it, the rest of you are also not interested. It happened to my pastor. He said, no, my God, it's so disgraceful. So I went there and looked at the thing. So, Reverend, in some of us you have been doing. So these are some of the things. So we don't have to accept friendship like that. There are, is that whatever you see, you have to let them understand, whatever they see or hear online, you have to check the reliability. You have to check that it's coming from a reliable source. Not everything that you are just following. Then the thing is, if you encounter anything that bothers you, try and share with a trusted adult. Give these children this smart message, and I believe that they will be able to stay safe online, and when they encounter anything, they will approach you and you ask. If you are seated here, you will need further education relating to child online protection. You can see, I can see most of our people from cybersecurity here. Yeah. You can see all of them, and they will assist you in that. The next aspect of which I'm going to cut has to do with what government is doing in relation to all that. But because of time, I will end here and say, before you click, do what? Thank you.